Mr. President, is there no deal? Mr. President, can you tell us what is the deal off?
Queen City News continues to follow that breaking news out of Washington. New video shows the moment Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy left the White House today without a deal. And it's after that heated meeting between him and President Donald Trump. The pair were set to give a joint news conference this afternoon. However, the White House says that has been canceled. Joining me now, Dr. Michael Bitzer, professor of politics and history at Catawba College and one of the leading voices in the Carolinas for American democracy. And Dr. Bitzer, thanks for joining us here.
My pleasure.
Well, before the break, we watched that incredibly tense Oval Office meeting between Zelenskyy and Trump and Vance in full. And your first thoughts on what you saw?
We've never in public. Certainly the Oval Office has been the center point of a lot of heated rhetoric, a lot of heated debate. But this played out in front of the cameras, and I don't think anybody was necessarily expecting voices to be raised, fingers to be pointed in such a manner that we saw during that exchange. It really is calling into question what is America's support now for Zelenskyy and for Ukraine. We'll have to watch and see what the fallout is going to be. But this could have dangerous ramifications in terms of who is behind Ukraine in their war with Russia.
You know, ever since this Russian-Ukrainian war, Americans have overwhelmingly supported our ally, Ukraine, but that has been waning recently as the war drags on. But a peace deal, that's what everyone wants. Where does that deal stand right now? And if you're our closest allies like Great Britain and France, whose leaders were just here meeting with President Trump, where does that leave them?
I think we'll find out over the weekend. Sunday, there's supposed to be a summit, a gathering in London of European leaders, along with Zelenskyy, along with the NATO Secretary General, to try and figure out what the next steps are. I think in the next 48 hours is really going to be critical over this weekend to see if any repairs can be done to the damage that was done this afternoon. I don't know where things go. I don't think anybody has the compass to dictate in terms of where this path may move forward. We might see something of Zelenskyy offering an apology later on Fox News when he talks to Bret Baier. But, you know, all of this is playing out in such a way that I don't think anybody has a full understanding of whether Zelenskyy will come with hat in hand back to the Oval Office, or, whether President Trump will try and make amends in some way, shape, or form. I just think we need to let time kind of settle this out for us.
Yeah, certainly a lot of spin going on after what we just saw. President Trump posted a message on Truth Social reading in part, "I have determined that President Zelenskyy is not ready for peace if America is involved because he feels our involvement gives him a big advantage in negotiations. I don't want advantage, I want peace. He disrespected the United States of America in its cherished Oval Office. He can come back when he is ready for peace." Your thoughts?
Well, I think, Zelenskyy may have taken the bait, but the way that the vice president engaged himself, the way that the president basically hammered at Zelenskyy during this is not the way that world leaders interact with each other in a diplomatic manner. Yes, they have challenges. Yes, they have confrontations, but usually those are behind closed doors. To have this so open and to have it so blatant in terms of, raised voices just does not, bode any wellness for what may be moving forward. Could this be a potential opening for Trump to say, we're out of NATO? I think anything is on the table at this point.
Certainly some concerns there after decades and decades of that alliance. And Republican Carolina Senators Tom Tillis, Lindsey Graham, they've been very outspoken against Russia in support of Ukraine, in particular Tillis, who is just in Ukraine. Where does this leave him politically going forward and how to walk this line?
It's going to be a fairly thin line for him to walk. I mean, I think he needs Trump's support and endorsement in his renomination bid for next year. But he made it very clear on the Senate floor where his loyalties and where his position lie behind Ukraine. So if this is becoming a real test for somebody, it is going to be Thom Tillis with re-election up for bid next year. He's got to have the base of the Republican Party behind him. They are fully behind the president. We'll have to wait and see what public opinion polls tell us about this, particularly among Republicans. This could be a real test of party unity and support from President Trump to Thom Tillis.
Yeah, ever since Russia invaded Ukraine over 3 years ago, there's been overwhelming support for Ukraine. You see Ukrainian flags flying around, and Americans support that in most polls. But many are saying now we're fundamentally in a different nation right now today. Would you agree?
I would, and I think certainly the extent of this, conflict has taken a toll in terms of public support. This may, I don't know what's going to happen with public opinion, so I shouldn't probably speculate. But this could have something to regenerate some public opinion here in the United States. We'll just have to kind of wait and see over the next week what the public reaction is to this. It will be leading the news. It will be in the news over this weekend and into next week. So we should get a proper read on how Americans are viewing this confrontation and this exchange in the Oval Office.
All right, Dr. Michael Bitzer from Catawba College, and thank you as always for your expertise on such a monumental day today coming out of Washington. Thank you.